My name is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace back in 41 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married a Childers. Both twins were murdered by their mother. They were born out of wedlock, and this was nothing but a pigsty and a hellhole that I was dropped off at. And I grew up being told that was my name and so abused. There's no words for it. The Kennedys, Joe Kennedy was ambassador appointed by President Roosevelt to England, was part of my kidnapping. My own Uncle George, the illegal George VI, helped take down my father, King Edward VIII, who was married to my mom, Claudia O'Keefe Windsor, legally. He never married Wallace Simpson, an imposter and a double did. And Elizabeth has continued with it. The New World Order, the Freemasons, Illuminati, the global government that's in power now were part of my kidnapping. They controlled the media, but the people had all kinds of options in this. They could have marched. They could have made up money and done their own magazine, press, and printed it. There are so many ways that were open to them, or like I have, since I got social media, which was about 2 years ago, Facebook, and then YouTube, the day, August the 3rd, the day Alexis Murphy went missing. They still haven't found her body, but they've got a man in jail, Randy Taylor, and he's been convicted of a murder and kidnapping. Now then, Murphy, this is what I'm going to focus on here. Murphy, Alexis Murphy, Morgan Harrington, and Hannah Graham are just the latest mind control murders, and they're done in patterns deliberately by an agency of law enforcement. It's been going on for a long, long time. Now then, people will bring up at times MK Ultra. So people can Google, and I don't know that there's a distinction, but the agency I'm talking about, I'm not sure they're connected with MK Ultra. Maybe it's all one CIA, FBI, MK Ultra. I don't know. And the only person I've heard since the wrestler, Jesse Ventura, tell about any of this is Clive Lewis on Ground Zero. He's a talk show host, radio talk show host. The Rothschilds and Rockefellers that control the media are the ones that helped kidnap me. And it's the treaties that were signed after my kidnapping and the illegal takedown of my father. And history would record that my father abdicated and married Wallace Simpson. History would not record my name, although I'm told I have a birth certificate, but there's a 99-year seal put on it. That in itself tells you something's wrong. Now I want to get to this. I wrote a book before I found out about my name, my kidnapping in '83. I wrote a medical malpractice book about mind control, modifying behavior. You can program people to murder. You can create an illness or cure it. And this goes back to the Tesla files that were stolen in early 30, I believe. You can make people look as if they committed suicide when it's murder using mind control. So what I've been telling, and then I found out about my kidnapping, and one of the doctors I wrote about, Larry McDonald, was U.S. Congressman. He was a urologist at Piedmont Hospital. And I put this on repeatedly over tapes over the last year. So usually I lay out my father's picture and my uncle where he met the year I was born in the States with Roosevelt. I have laid all of it out. So I'm not even going to put it on here. I'm trying to get it on the tape and upload it. So I want to get to, I was flown out to Larry Flint's, who was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, in 78 while I lived in Marietta, and I was doing the book on mind control, and the person that shot him was programmed to shoot him. I was flown out, and he helped me in a campaign to replace the doctor congressman I'd written about when his plane was shot down August the 31st of 83, and all aboard died. It was the Korean jet. Now then, this is programming too, the way you take a plane down. And the media's not going to tell you anything about mind control. They're not going to tell you the truth about Ebola and the Center for Disease Control, where it started, or Emory University. This was a part of this about Emory and Center for Disease Control was in my book. And I had antifreeze put in me April the 1st of 80, and I should have died. Instead, I was taken across the state line and started working for the district attorney, Fred Simpson, in Huntsville, Alabama. And this is where John Lennon was killed. He's British, I'm British. I'm the legal monarch, Victoria II. So Simpson was supposed to have married my father and abdicated. I'm working for Simpson. So you can follow a little bit of the patterns just there before I found out about my real name in 83. Now I want to jump to Larry Flint was shot, and the person that shot him in Lawrenceville was programmed to shoot him and kill his attorney. And I'm not going to go into all that. I started to add, and then the tape will run out. What I wanted to say now is I've been in Roanoke, Virginia, now since October of 86. And I couldn't get jobs anymore. And I actually have walked up and down the side of the road, the highway, from here to Atlanta to back to Florida, trying to find a place just to lay my head and find my children, Mark and Scott, which I do not know where they are, and I haven't for a long, long time. Anyway, I came to Roanoke, and I slept and froze and starved up on the Appalachian Trail, Fort Hart Knob here off Mountain Pass Road. I'm not too far from there right now. I try to leave, and I'm run back here to Roanoke, where I've lived off and on. And I have chemical, I'm allergic to chemicals, is what it is. The fumes and odors, like construction, sealant, all that. Now then, it makes my immune system attack itself, and inflammation is widespread throughout my body, and this has continued since then. Everywhere I've gone, it's controlled. In plain sight, people around here all know about it. They're afraid of repercussions, and I want you to remember that word, repercussions, because it goes out in all directions when law enforcement is involved in it, and people see me getting the butt end of the stick, and to hell with me, monarch's just a joke. Being a citizen of England's just a joke, that they can do it to me. Now then, over the years, my body organs have deteriorated, my kidneys, etc., etc. And even a state trooper, Virginia state trooper, and I put this on others, his wife, Mrs. Carl Barton, Linda, told me in 09, August 14th, 09, when they brought me off of Roanoke Mountain, where I was legally camped, and they were the hosts of the campground. Fuel was poured on my tent, and she brought me down to Affordable Corporate Suites off Starkey Road in Roanoke. They paid the deposit, security deposit. For 17 months I stayed there and soaked up fumes and just about died. And I want to say this. Linda, his wife that brought me there, when she turned around to leave, she said, "This is how we make you run, using chemicals." Well, I knew it, but they made my word no good. Now, I'm not, there's some Virginia state troopers, I think, that have gone all out to help me, and some law enforcement. Some have been against me and not tried at all. I know the media has covered all this up, and that includes